Now we will see the PLSQL function. Like procedure, the function is also a derivative of PLSQL block. This is also a stored as named block, and it is stored as a schema object in the database. The difference is that, like the procedures, we saw that it is used to implement business logic, complex business logic, etc. Whereas the functions are usually used as a workforce, in the sense that they are used to implement certain computational activities in the application. Okay, so they mandatorily they should have a return type specification. The function has to return something. Okay, and they can be used in the SQL statements like select, update, etc. And if that all they are using in select statement, then there is no output parameter. It can only in parameters will be used. Okay, and when they are being used in the SQL statement, there are certain database purity rules that should be followed within the function body. As we are go through the other slides, we will discuss what are these database purity rules that the function body should satisfy. Okay, then these functions can accept parameters in all three modes, in, outs and in, out, but mandatorily they should return a value. Okay, the return value should be a simple SQL data type. It cannot be a PLSQL data type like a boolean, record or table. Okay, so the functions are a workforce that are used to implement certain computational activities. Okay, so this should return a return value. That is the difference between functions and procedures. Plus they can be used in SQL statements. Okay, function syntax: create or replace function, function name and the parameter list, input, output, in, out parameter, and the return type specification, return and the data type. Then comes a declaration section where all the variables cursors are discussed, declared. Then the begin keyword marks the executable statements. Then there is a mandatory returning of a value. Then if there is exception handlers, there is a exception section. Okay. Example function: create or replace function fget double, input parameter a number variable called pnum. It is returning a number variable. Is in the declaration section there is a number variable called lnum. Then there is a begin keyword marking executable section. So there are two executable statements. First is converting this pnum, doubling it and assigning to the local variable, and returning that local variable lnum. Okay, we will execute this function and come back. Okay, this is the function. Create or replace function fget double, input parameter a number variable and that returns a number. A local variable lnum is declared and the input parameter is doubled and assigned to the local variable and the local variable is returned. So when I execute this function fget double is either created or replaced in the schema object. See functions, there is a table called fget double is there, function is there. So it's getting created or replaced, and we can use them in the select statement I told. So see the select statement, select fget double, we are passing parameter 10 from dual. Dual we know it's Oracle built-in table used for this kind of purposes. So when you execute this, what you expect now? We should get 20, right? The select statement should print 20 as the column. See, 20. Okay. See, we saw that it can be used in the select statement. Functions can be used. So the function, see, it takes a parameter, right? Number value. So usually the parameter can be a column value of a table. The select statement is operating, or you can pass any parameter and operate on a table. Okay. So for the statement, if it is a column of the table, the syntax will be select column 1, column 2, your function, passing column 3 or any column as your parameter to the function, as function value from table, where table key equal to at param key. or if you can pass any parameter. Okay, so select column 1, column 2, your function at param as function value from table where table key at param key. Okay. So we saw that there are some database purity rules that function body should obey when it is used in SQL expressions like. So that is what is being discussed here. So a function called from a select statement cannot contain DML statements, that is update delete statements. It should be a simple function. It cannot have any DML statements in the function body if it is getting used in the select statement. Similarly, if a function is used in update or delete statement on a table, then it cannot have a query or DML statements performing on the same table in the function body. Okay. So if it is being used in the update or delete statement, the function cannot perform select or DML on the same table. Okay, that's correct, right? Then similarly, if it is getting used in SQL expression, it cannot have in the function body a commit, a rollback, or a create or add command. Okay, so these are the restrictions the function is being used as in the SQL expressions.